Hey guys, so welcome to the John Adams video on JP Politics. So yeah, this is our second president, out of 45, and yeah, basically, yeah, tariffs are in effect for Canada today. As you know, I just said it. Yeah, you guys probably do know. Wait now. Wait a minute, I just need to yap for a few more minutes. Yeah, this video was scheduled for tomorrow, but I decided to change it for today. So John Adams. Let's get into his birth. John Adams was born on October 30th, 1735, the day before Halloween. Did they have Halloween then? I don't know. To John Adams Sr. and Susanna Boylston Adams. He had two younger brothers, Peter and Elihu, but that wasn't his birth, that was after, so we'll explain that later. He was born on the family farm, and his childhood home still standing, barely. And yeah, it's in Braintree, Massachusetts. Alright, growing up. So, John Adams, like I said, had two younger brothers, Peter and Elihu. His mother was a leading medical family. His father was a deacon in the church, in the Congregational Church, a farmer, a corn launder, a lieutenant in the militia. Adams and his father was close. And when Adams was 6, he got his formal education at Dam School. It was privately run schools, conducted at a teacher's home and centered on the New England primer. He then attended Braintree Latin School under Joseph Clevery, where students included Latin, arithmetic, logic, and arithmetic. Then, at 16, Adams entered Harvard College, studied under Joseph Mayer. As an adult, was a kid scholar, so he practiced law. Then, in 1759, he met 15-year-old Abigail Smith, who was his third cousin. So they had the same great-great-grandparents. No big deal then. Through his friend Richard Cratch, which is kind of surprising how he never knew, but not at the same time. I know some of my third cousins. Now, Adams, he grew close to Abigail, and they were married on October 25th, 1764. They loved books and proved honest in their praise. And yeah, they had 6 children. Watch Every President's Children if you have time after this. Abigail, nicknamed Abby, John Quincy Adams, Susanna, Charles, Thomas, and Elizabeth. Susanna died when she was a year old, and Elizabeth was stillborn. John Quincy Adams became a president after, which I think we know. Do we? I don't know. Life before president. Alright. So, John Adams was elected vice president under George Washington for 2 terms. So back then, so George Washington was obviously, he got 100% of the vote. It's kind of hard to explain, but then basically someone had to vote for a vice president, and they voted in John Adams. He was second behind Washington. And yeah, on April 30th, 1789, he became vice president. He was into Senate stuff, and yeah, he was pretty good. I guess he ran for president after, but we're not getting into that yet. Yeah, so basically he won the election. He was a Federalist, by the way. Presidency. So, Adams was sworn in the office on March 4th, 1797, which was on this day. Sorry guys, I need to check my calculator. Alright, so 1797 was 228 years ago. My bad, I'm crappy at math, so I did use my calculator, and I forget what I said. What many years ago it was, but he had Republican values. Adams was a bit hated, but Abigail and John were the first couple to move into the White House. In 1800, they lived in the President's House of Philadelphia, where George Washington used to live. And yeah, John Adams' vice president was frenemies Thomas Jefferson. And Adams was president during the Quincy War, Fry's Rebellion, Federalist divisions of peace. So they tried to develop peace in the divisions. And yeah, so the election of 1800. So some of you guys heard of the election of 1800. So it was Thomas Jefferson versus John Adams, obviously, in the election, which was Thomas Jefferson's vice president. Oh, how did times change, I'll tell you. Times were different then, I'll tell you. So obviously that Adams had to add a new running mate, which he nominated Charles Pickley. So he was going to get Democratic Republican Thomas Jefferson. Adams won Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, and New Jersey. And Jefferson won the rest, such as New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky. And I probably said them 2 or 3 times, but oh well. That's it for that. And Adams lost. Alright. Death. Alright, so Adams Adams had a 25-year post-presidency. He lived to be 90. After retirement, he resumed at Peace Field in Quincy, Massachusetts, working. He also worked at an autobiography. And yeah, he tried to stay out of the public. In 1801, him and Jefferson never speak for 12 years. But 12 years later, in early 1812, they became friends again. Yeah. So that was that. Abigail Adams died in 1818, 8 years before he did. So we kept writing regularly to Thomas Jefferson. Then, on July 4th, the 50th Declaration of the Independence in 1826, Adams died of a heart attack at approximately 6:20 p.m. And then his last words were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." Yeah. He never, though. He died a few hours before. So then, John and Abigail were buried at United First Parish Church in Quincy. And yeah, so that was John Adams. Controversial guy. Not as good as Washington, not as good as Jefferson, they say. But Thomas Jefferson is the next president. I hope you all have a great day and bye.